Please help me welcome to City Hall representatives from my alma mater and some of yours also, UCLA.
Let's give UCLA a round of applause.
And we're not here today to celebrate UCLA making the Sweet 16, although I'm happy to celebrate that with them. But this morning we're here to celebrate UCLA's 8th annual Volunteer Day. It's a day of service for hundreds of undergrads, grad students, faculty, staff, alumni, parents, and community members who visit 50 sites across our great city, including schools, food banks, parks, shelters, senior centers, and more. UCLA's Volunteer Day is one of the nation's largest community participation events for new students. In 7 years, volunteers have donated nearly 28,000 hours of service in our communities. Let's give them a big round of applause for that. Volunteer Day is one day. The goal is to serve as many community partners as possible while making projects interactive and meaningful to volunteers, inspiring future service among the UCLA community. This year, Volunteer Day is Monday, September 19th. To talk more about this incredible program, I'd like to introduce Keith Parker, Assistant Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, Mr. Koretz. Thank you, Council President Wesson and members of the City Council for your support in enabling us to continue to do the UCLA Volunteer Day. As Mr. Koretz mentioned, this was the 8th year of us doing the UCLA Volunteer Day. Mr. Koretz's daughter was, in fact, a participant in year 1. And so we've sustained this effort, continue to grow this effort, and a lot of that is due to the support that we receive from you as City Council members. You help us to identify sites where we will do projects. You help us by donating buses. This year you donated 54 buses to transport students and volunteers from UCLA to various sites around Los Angeles. Without your support, this effort would be very, very difficult for us to do, and so we want to continue that support because we're beginning to identify sites for our 9th annual Volunteer Day, which will be on October 7th, 2017. We'd also like to celebrate our 13th annual UCLA Day in Local Government. This year, our day in local government, we focused on community wellness. And again, you and your staff met with various students, volunteers, faculty, alumni, and friends of UCLA to talk about community programs that UCLA conducts that relate to community wellness. And again, that goes from health, it goes to environmental programs, it goes to sustainability programs. At the end of the day, we had a discussion moderated by Jim Newton, our former LA Times columnist, and with UCLA, he helps to edit the Blueprint magazine. That discussion looked at sustainability and looked at what are the things that we can do to not only make UCLA a partner in sustainability, but also contribute to the efforts that you as the council have for Los Angeles. So I'm very pleased to be here. I'm very happy to say that UCLA is moving on to the Sweet 16. I send my regrets to my Trojan friends on the council, Mr. Kokoria and Mr. Englander. I don't want you to cry too much. I just want you to come to our party and be a Bruin for the day. And so for Council President Wesson, thank you again for your support as always. Let me introduce Shannon Hickman, who runs our Volunteer Center.
Council President Wesson and members of the City Council. On behalf of the UCLA Volunteer Center staff and our Bruin volunteers, I am pleased to be with you today to thank you for your part in another successful UCLA Volunteer Day. Among the 50 sites visited by our volunteers that day were shelters, schools, community gardens, parks, food banks, veteran sites, and senior centers, sites that altogether serve hundreds of thousands of local residents. Our Bruin volunteers were first-year and new transfer students serving in their very first days at UCLA, alongside continuing students, parents, faculty, staff, and alumni serving as our project leaders and task captains at each site. The thank you package on each of your desks contains a report from the day, a Volunteer Center t-shirt, and a framed photo from a project in your district. As you can see in the impact report, with approximately 6,000 volunteers participating, the value of the work completed on this one day of service totals over $700,000, and the sense of community gained is immeasurable. Our team works diligently the rest of the year to ensure that the momentum created on Volunteer Day continues and that volunteers have the resources they need to pursue the service opportunities and the social justice causes that they care the most about. And just as we celebrate our 8th annual Volunteer Day, we are looking forward to the 9th one this fall. We are currently seeking your site suggestions for the 2017 event, which, as Keith mentioned, will take place on Saturday, October 7th. We look forward to working with you to determine the sites of need in your districts and to create more projects that will bring positive change and the true Bruin spirit to the people of Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
I guess the date changed since they gave it to the original. So thank you to UCLA for stressing the importance of giving back beyond just one day of service. And if you'd like to participate, visit volunteerday.ucla.edu. And now I'd like to present a certificate to UCLA for the great work of their volunteer center.
Hey, Mr. Koretz, if you could just hold for a moment. Mr. Krikorian.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I just wanted to rise, Keith, as a proud UCLA dad, to thank UCLA for all of the extraordinary service that you've performed in my district and in everyone's district. And I also appreciate the condolences on USC's ouster from the NCAA tournament after facing off against a number 3 seed and taking them right to the wire, heroically competing right till the end. I can't say that I'm crying too much about the loss, though. I appreciate the condolences because I'm busy right now preparing for the presentation that we'll be making on Friday, which I hope you'll join us for, where we'll be recognizing the USC Women's National Championship Beach Volleyball Team, the USC National Championship Women's Soccer Team, the USC National Championship Women's Water Polo Team, and of course, the USC Football 2017 Rose Bowl Champion Football Team. So I hope you'll be joining us.
Okay, what have we started? Mr. Parker, you see what you started here? Okay, Mr. David Rue.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I just rise in support of my alma mater, UCLA, and I also want to thank you for this Volunteer Day because I think you had the most volunteers at Griffith Park, and several years in a row. So I really thank you and all the students who came out to volunteer. And just for the record, I want to state I will be here Friday to help Councilman Krikorian celebrate our crosstown rival, friendly, healthy rival of USC with all the nice championships that they won recently. But for the record, I believe UCLA has the most NCAA championships overall in all sports, all athletics. So we hold that record, and but we could easily just having made the Sweet 16, we'll just go heads up and see who's better. Oh wait a minute, USC didn't make it, right? I'm sorry. So, but thank you so much to UCLA. And thank you for your volunteer day of service and also your advocacy day where students and faculty get to come and see how city government works and collaborate together and make the city of LA better. Thank you.
Okay, it's not over yet. Mr. Cedillo.
Attach myself to all the comments made by my colleague, Mr. Rue. Mr. President, I'm a proud Bruin, Upward Bound Bruin. Did a little team teaching at UCLA, and it's not just a day of service, Mr. Rue knows this, but it's where you learn about a lifetime of service. You knew Winston Dobie. He was my mentor. He gave me an opportunity when I was 15 years old and changed the course of my life and brought me here to City Hall and gave me an opportunity with Bill Alkins and Tom Bradley. This is a building of Bruins here in City Hall, and so Keith, it's great to see you. Paul, it's great to see you, and go Bruins. Thank you.
Okay, it looks as though, Mr. Koretz, things have died down. I do want to thank you for your service. Good to see good friends. Thank you for everything that you do for the city of Los Angeles with so many things that aren't even mentioned, the number of jobs that you provide and all of the students that you help, the work that you do for the members, not only on this council, but in the state. So just thank you. And Mr. Koretz, I'm glad that you brought him in. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give UCLA another round of applause. Lord knows they are deserving of it.